Unheard of by many, a half street is located in Prineville and may be the only one in Central Oregon. Matthew Draxton digs into the history of why it exists.
Folks who have visited or live in Prineville know the warm and neighborly feel that's existed here for over 100 years. What many might not know is it's home to an address with a half street.
It's just one of them little deals that I think probably if you're not involved with Public Works or the fire department or somebody like that, you probably don't even know it's there.
Jerry Brummer is the former Public Works Director. He's lived in Prineville his whole life.
We've been here 7 years. We live up on Juniper Canyon, and we ride our bikes, and we noticed it, and it was just cute.
It's called Northeast 5.5 Street. The street is home on one side to the Prineville Parks Department. On the other side, there are two homes with a 5.5 street address. Other nearby homes are on the cross street.
I looked up and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I actually grabbed my phone and took a picture of it.
Streets were first laid out in 1877. Behind me, a Choco Creek typically prevented the city from creating a street. Eventually, with time, it migrated south, creating room for this small street.
It looks like, going back and looking at old maps, that maybe originally where that creek fell, made more room or less room for a block on one side or the other of the creek.
It came to our attention after a fire happened near 5.5 Street on April 25th. Crook County Fire put out a press release with the unusual address. We asked the Public Works Department the history, and no one has a definitive answer for why the city has a half street.
It was just a matter of practicality. That street lines up with some alleys. If you carry it across the creek, you can kind of see how it lines up with some alleyways in there. But I think once addresses were established on that, it made sense to make it an actual street and name it as such.
As you might expect, 5.5 Street sits between 5th and 6th. I spoke to a neighbor who says the address causes constant confusion, creating a hassle for her with the post office. Matthew Draxton, News Channel 21.